Wait, my voice working? My voice working? Yeah, it is. Nice. Play Fort and buy the Ichigo skin? Nah, I'm good, man. I'm tired, bro. I haven't even had time to watch Bleach lately. I've been getting like no sleep really. It's bad. Is there no quantum weakness? Sheesh. Is the Casterus shilling finally over? Hello, Phoenix. Nice to am I have been well, Max. Hope you're doing well too. What arc are you on for Bleach? It's still the Arrancar arc. I stopped at the Arrancar arc, took a break, made a community post that I'd resume it like next day when I woke up. But bro, since then I've just had to deal with so much that I didn't expect, so um actually Anoxa or actually no, because I have a really bad build on him, so that's actually good. Alright, there we go. Now let me go back so I can turn on the volume.
A while longer. The form of the unknown.
A will of metal and
Turn over this eternal cake.
watch this magic trick.
Bleach is gas. I've been watching like 20 episodes a day. Jeez. Glad you're enjoying it though, yeah.
Bear witness. To behold the symbol of pure beauty.
Stars, shine for the heroes. Flowers, bloom for tomorrow.
Unimaru? Hello.
Insanity. Rise to the challenge. To the soul. Trust me. We can do anything. Look, with this divine power, I reforge all things. Dragons soaring above the lands. This is permanent. Rise to the challenge. This is being insane. As we've written.
Together we can do stars. Shine for the heroes. It's flowers, bloom for tomorrow. Memories waiting to be woken up by a shooting star.
Sustainless is hard this Apok, no heals after breaks. Oh yeah. I mean, they probably did that to Shill Ling Sha in the next banner. So it makes sense actually.
May reason enlighten the truth.
Look, with this divine power, I reforge all things. Dragons soaring above the lands. This is permanent. Insanity. To the soul, trust me. We can do anything. Rise to the something out of nothing.
Argenti has 40% win res, but Anoxa's still good here? Yeah.
To the soul.
Don't blink. May reason enlighten the truth. Rewrite destruction with me.
Insanity. To the soul. Behold, the symbol of pure beauty. With this divine power.
Is your Anoxa free to play friendly? This one, yes.
I'm on it.
E0 as 0 Anoxa, E0 as 0 Cyrene, E0 as 0 Don Hung BT. This is because this is my Cassie account. This isn't my Anoxa account.
Prepare to
I used my E1 Dahlia with Archer first side and Aglaia plus Irene second side and somehow cleared APOC. Yeah, if you're just trying to clear APOC, it's a lot easier, thank God. Dahlia's really broken too. Like, I went on 2WOMP and I saw that the lowest cost clear in this APOC is 1 cost with Dahlia, and someone legit cleared with no break DPS. Like, they used HMC, Pela, Gallagher plus Dahlia, and it cleared over 3,300 on one side. Well, this is floor 3 of APOC. This isn't floor 4. So floor 4, there's like a massive spike in HP. So, yeah, don't get too hyped yet. HSR purposely makes like floor 11s and like floor 3s of endgame modes incredibly easy. And then they make the last floors like 3 to 4 times as difficult.
Emerge from your cocoon. Eternal. Darkness with me.
Did you get Aizen? Yeah, I got Aizen today actually. Yeah. I just got Aizen.
Don't worry, night falls.
No weapon though. I don't think I'll be able to get his weapon. So that's gonna have to be something I wait for on his rerun probably. Oh no, not max copies on Aizen. No, just like Aizen himself. B0 or whatever.
Again.
B6 is insane.
Return to dust.
I will say though, like right now, Aizen is like so broken, man. He can basically be ran as his own DPS. It's not better than Bichigo, but I think he has way better copy investment than Bichigo and Toshiro. So like when you go in for the copies, at some point he basically becomes on the exact same level, if not better. And he's a tactician, so like there's more value in it.
You too, as you wish. Time for some fun. Rise and shine. Embrace a
A drip marking been delayed? Yeah, I heard it was delayed a little bit ago. I didn't make a community post on it though. Copy 6 Aizen feels like straight out of the anime. Yeah, he looks really strong.
The future is great. Have some sunshine. Some value, I suppose.
I have a massive 55 pulls for Yeshun Guang right now. I started ZZZ the other day. Well, if you milk everything from the next patch, you should be completely fine. Because they're going to give like probably 130 pulls if I had to guess.
Embrace a new life. Return to dust. May death protect us.
Lead Soul Resonance is fun as fuck too. Yeah, it's really fun. It's one of the few gachas where like I genuinely want more events and more stuff to do. I mean, that's kind of how it feels at the beginning of all gachas though. I treat them like an MMO or something because like, oh, there's so much to do to like progress your characters and like climb the ladder and shit. But once you actually get like full endgame and full teams, that's when it becomes a question of like, are you gonna keep playing for me?
Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
I do think I will keep playing it though. Like unironically, Bleach Soul Resonance has more content in it than HSR. So like, and I can play HSR just fine. I also really like being low spender in Bleach Soul Resonance. Like it's really good. They Like, they silently buffed the battle pass recently as well by adding 10 more levels. I feel like the game is going to get power crept into oblivion. I mean, that depends, you know, like, does the power creep matter, right? That's the question. Because I believe the only currently recurring, like, endgame content in the entirety of Soul Resonance is, like, those 2 boss fights in Frenzy Feast. And that's it. And they kind of just reuse the same bosses. So they have to go out of their way to start putting, like, really high levels of HP inflation. And even then, in my opinion, Soul Resonance made copies strong enough, and because they have guaranteed on the character banner, I think anyone can easily clear Bleach Soul Resonance, like, easily. It's just a given because of how much better its pity system is. It's probably going to be easier to tackle it. Can you do Whimpering Waste Run? I'm probably not going to play Woowa right now. I already played Woowa offline for like an hour or two. But I already did Woowa, and I cleared, obviously, S. Because I have a Prolova. And then I ran QU1 with S2 Varina. For anyone curious, I just ran my Prolova with only SK. I ran Prolova SK, no third slot. QU1 S2 Varina, no third slot.
Soaring above the lands. This is permanent.
It's might. Stars, shine for the heroes. Flowers, bloom for tomorrow.
Trust me, we can do anything.
I mean, I think everybody knows I have, like, pretty bad skill issue in Woowa. Because I've always taken Woowa more casually. The only game I've actually, like, you know, gone out of my way to improve immensely in is HSR. It's literally the only one.
Insanity. To the soul. Look, with this divine power, I reforge all things. As written.
Stars, shine for the heroes.
You're fighting a gentleman.
But here's the thing. If I'm, like, very adamant against not spending money on, like, a gacha game, I will end up learning how to clear well with, like, cheaper teams anyways. Oh my god, am I gonna die?
Trust me, we can do anything. Rise to the challenge.
Just give the buff to Inoxa, actually.
What's the matter? Insanity.
Memories waiting to be woken up by a shooting star. Remember me with love.
Oh yeah, Tactician, yeah.
May reason enlighten truth.
Look.
ZZZ has really solid animations, and I'd say, like, Yeshun Guang upcoming is, in my opinion, the peak of it. It's a big reason why I want to get Yeshun Guang, is mainly just the animation, to be honest.
To the soul. Insanity.
And also, it is very, like, combat focused. Like, there is a massive skill gap in ZZZ. I'd actually argue, like, the skill gap in ZZZ from, like, a casual player to a good player is, like, maybe a little larger than Wu was. Like, there's people still clearing with, keep in mind, 2 limited Miyabi. They're, like, killing DA bosses. or, like, very low limited Miyabi with mono ice.
Prepare to. It's the answer. Don't blink. May reason enlighten truth. Cleanse hatred with love.
To the soul. Insanity.
And that's considering that this game goes out of its way to nerf mono ice constantly.
Things.
Yuzu Ice is crazy strong. I wasn't even talking about Yuzu Ice. There's actually a mono ice of just Sokaku Lycon. And it still Miyabi kills it, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, there's also Yuzuha Sokaku as well.
What's the matter? To the soul. Insanity. Not a bad idea. As written. My strength mountains move. Rise. insanity.
Take the answer.
Look,
I don't think I'm gonna be able to kill Argenti in time.
things.
I mean, it is a 2 limited Anoxa team with terrible relic investment, so I can't say much, but like,
My purpose. What's the matter? To the soul, insanity. Dragons soaring above the land. This is permanent.
Don't blink. May reason enlighten the truth.
To the soul, insanity.
This is eternity.
This is being in sync.
Me.
What's the to the soul, insanity.
yep.
Bear witness. Look, with this divine power, I reforge all things.
RMC got a new AoE basic in 3.7 with the introduction of Cyrene, because it's like the end of the story. They basically just buffed RMC to be more fitting with the story.
Prepare. Take the answer.
Rise to the challenge. Still here. Trust me. We can do anything.
Don't blink. May reason enlighten the truth. Cleanse hatred with love.
To the soul, insanity.
Look. This is eternity.
Might have to use Feign on here. I don't think so. I think my Mono Remembrance team will just carry the second side anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
I'm just to the soul, insanity. Put forth all your look, with this divine power, I reforge all things.
Take the answer. Don't blink. May reason enlighten the truth.
To the soul, insanity. I'm on it. You can do it. My strength. Rise to the dragons soaring above the land. This
I just bring E6 and Oxa here. Well, yeah, that wouldn't have any issues.
Prepare to await. This is
If I had Ceredra, he would have died on the first phase.
what's the matter? To the soul, insanity. Put forth all your this being in sync with this divine power, I reforge all things. Rise to the challenge.
Take the answer.
My purpose, mountains move, dragons rise. To the soul, insanity.
Alright, now we go to second phase right here.
Don't blink. May reason enlighten the truth.
I'm just a to the soul, insanity.
1% is crazy.
To the soul, insanity. Trust me, we can do anything.
Argenti is way too tanky. Well, yeah, that, and I have a terribly built Anoxa. I have a mid-build Cyrene. I have a terribly built RMC. And then I have a mid-built Donhung. And it's only 2 limited. No one has Lycones.
If you
No
still
one
have
has
questions,
Eidolons.
please, with this divine power, I reforge all things.
Let's start the second movement. This is eternity.
I'm on it. We have the edge.
Yeah.
Dragons soaring above the land. This is permanent.
How do you even badly build RMC? By having absolutely terrible speed and terrible crit damage.
Insanity.
Don't blink. May reason enlighten the truth. Rewrite destruction with me.
To the soul, insanity. Look, with this divine power, reforge all things.
Look, it's the answer.
Put forth all your might. Ha! Bear witness. Let the
I probably should have saved the ult there. That's a skill issue. That is 100% a skill issue. And I can't target Argenti.
This is being in sync. Still here. My purpose is to protect.
So if the score drops below 900, it'll probably drop below that, yeah.
Prepare to await. This is eternity. Don't blink. May reason enlighten the truth.
What's the matter?
Huh? Am I not gonna get a double skill? Why? Oh, I am. It's just bugged. Oh, okay. It usually shows like a symbol if an Oxa is able to double skill on them. But I guess it's just bugged.
Do it. Trust me. We can do anything.
It's the answer.
Put forth all your might. I'm just a frail scholar. To the soul, insanity. Look, with this divine power, I reforge all things.
Stars in the bar of debuffs? Oh yeah, you're right.
Dragon soaring above the land. This is permanent.
No, Cyrene isn't gonna break.
This is eternity.
A Noxa will right here.
Don't blink. May reason enlighten the truth.
What's the matter? To the soul. Insanity. To the soul. Insanity. Still here. My rise to the challenge.
It's the answer. This is eternity.
Do it. To the soul, insanity. Look, with this divine power, I reforge all things.
Should I pull for E1 Aglaya or E0 Sunday for E... No, just pull E1 Aglaya.
May reason enlighten the truth. Cleanse hatred with love.
I'm to the soul, insanity. Trust me, we can do anything.
It's the answer. As written.
Yep.
Bear witness. Behold, this symbol of pure beauty.
That won't work, you know.
My strength isn't what it was. Dragon soaring above the lands.
This is permanent.
This is eternity.
To the soul, insanity.
Don't blink.
This would have been so much better if I had the Lycone. If I got energy, I've wasted like at least 2 or 3 Anoxa ults at this point. Because I just don't have his Lycone.
To the soul, insanity. Look, with this divine power, I reforge all things. Still here. What's the to the soul? Insanity.
Okay, that's good. I got the second skill off on just him.
It's the answer.
My flesh.
Now we can stack it up a little bit. No, don't use that. I almost trigger clicked.
To the soul, insanity. Look, with this divine power, I reforge all things.
Don't blink. May reason enlighten the truth.
Trust me, we can do anything. I'm just a frail scholar. To the soul, insanity.
This is eternity.
Rise to the challenge. To the soul.
Okay, yeah.
Forge
This is
all
the end.
things.
Under 900. Whoever called it was right.
My strength is dragons soaring above the land. This is permanent.
It's the answer! Don't blink. Maybe some enlightenment truth. Cleanse hatred with love!
To the soul.
I'll show you guys the build after this, once this like all done.
Final weep sound lingers. Plain. Emerge from your cocoon.
Do you even farm for Anoxa? No, I literally gave him relics that I farmed overnight. Like I had no relics on him a few days ago.
Turn away. Darkness with me. May death protect us. Have some sunshine. Next time it rains, I'll be there. Umbrella in hand. I shall remember this word. Don't worry. Night falls. Good night. Rise and shine. Have some fun. Till we meet again. Embrace a new life. Return to dust.
Anoxa LARPing.
May death protect us.
You see the new NTE trailer? Nope.
There's more to life. Every petal. All will be swept away by the wind. Eternal. The future. The lead it with. Next time it rains, I'll be there. Umbrella in hand. Please root here. Time first again. Again. Embrace a new life. Rise and shine. Darkness with me. You too. Return to dust. May death protect us. Guide with the ring. Have some sunshine.
Would you recommend E2 Cass? No. Oh, I have E1S1, Hia, Trib, and RMC. Oh, if you're that close, then yeah, probably.
Existence.
I'm just gonna skill to see if I can keep her ult uptime a little better.
Don't worry. Night falls. Good night. Embrace a new life.
See, this is the tech, guys. This is the tech, okay? Especially if you're going against, like, enemies that aren't res of Cassie. If you ult on Cassie right when the Memo Sprite acts and it's its turn, you can get a free 20% res pen off of Cassie's field.
Rise and shine.
Absolute W.
Life is in darkness with me.
How worth it is Yuno's signature? For her main DPS, very worth it. If you're just running her as a sub DPS, don't sweat it.
I shall remember some this again. Again. Till we meet again. Please cherish as you wish. Grace and elegance. Eternal. Have some sunshine. Mavis. Dispel the gloom. Restore the sky. Next time it rains, I'll be there. Umbrella in Embrace a new life. Return to dust.
You would clear faster if you use Blade instead of Evernight? Hell no.
May death protect us.
Free energy. Oh, never mind. It takes away energy. I forgot.
Stop and have some fun. Rise and shine. Don't worry. Night falls. Good night. Till we meet again.
This should be it.
New light. Darkness with me. Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind. Return to dust.
There we go. And it cleared. It cleared by 45 score. So, oh wait, let me get the thing. I'll show you guys now. I'll show you guys now. Like, I'll show you guys how bad it is. So this this is the Anoxa, okay? He doesn't have 100% crit rate. He doesn't even have 100% crit damage. And the attack is high. The attack is high. And the speed is just abysmal. Right. And it's E0 as 0, I promise. It's actually E0 as 0. Right. So these are the relics. I got them overnight, okay? I got them overnight, right? As you can see, this is pretty crazy, right? Look at this insanity of a piece. Generational, right? This one is actually solid. It's double crit at least. That's about the best you're gonna get over here. Oh, right? 0 crit roll body. Okay? 0 crit roll body. That's what you love to see in these streets. This one, it's useless. Okay, technically, the only thing I'm benefiting here is 1 crit roll. Because unless I'm hitting a speed threshold, which I'm not, this speed is completely fucking useless. Right? We go over here. It's good because it triple rolled into crit. But there's no crit damage substat. So this is basically equal to 2 rolls. And then, yeah. So now we go into the Cyrene, right? Now the Cyrene actually isn't terribly built, but she's just a little off 180 speed. So before I get the ult, there's basically no extra 20% damage bonus, which is like a little bricked. And then the RMC has not only terrible speed, but also has pretty underwhelming crit damage. And he doesn't have max traces. So yeah, that's that's the Anoxa team, boys. That is the Anoxa team. Oh yeah, here's the E0 S0, or technically S1 Dan Heng, using the Archer cone I got for free during 3.4. How do you even get to this low of low? I'm not trolling. I literally farmed, like, a few days ago, right? This guy had 0 relics. He had 0 relics on him. I sacrificed some of my other characters' relics, and I used, like, all my fuel to try and scrap things up so I could try E0 Anoxa with Cyrene. Keep in mind, I also cleared MOC with this Anoxa as well. Mainly because of the Mono Rem team, but like, yeah. Now, here's the thing. This is optional, right? Like, in a majority of cases, and I've talked about this before, what is way better, in my case, because of the investment I have in the Mono Rem team, if I split Evernight and Cassie as separate main DPSs, they will simply clear better. But that's kind of boring, because they're both E2S1, so it just trivializes it. So sometimes I want to have fun. Show the cast team. It's double E2S1, and then an E0S0 Hyacine. So, 190 speed Hyacine, which isn't even crazy to be honest. But Evernight has really good relics. Evernight has really good relics. So this is my Evernight. 65% crit rate, but she increases her own crit rate, if I remember correctly, by like a very high amount. I don't know where I can find it. Yeah, right here. Eevee's crit rate increases by 35%. So 35 plus 65 is 100%. I have it perfect. HP, a little crit damage. And then E2S1 Cassie is on 90 speed, 187 crit damage, AK HP. There you go, guys. There you go. That bricked account was promised to us 3,000 years ago. Yup. Insane, right? Insane. Hey, I got a full clear. I got a full clear. You can't say nothing. I got a full clear. What did I miss? Nothing. Just like a bricked Anoxa APOC run because he has no investment. Even if I just had S1, that would have been like a 1200 or 1300 clear, which is enough to like pass if I had the S1. And if I had a better build, obviously, but you know, what can we do about that? Didn't even get Hyacine LC. Hyacine LC is a scam, at least in the team I use. Like, the vulnerability kind of becomes a little saturated. So the only reason I have to pull Hyacine LC is if I run Evernight Hyper Carry. But because of upcoming 4.x, like, there's no reason for me to do that. What I'm going to do, likely, is... Okay. The best and most optimal thing I could do here is get E2 Phanon. Because I actually do have S1 on Phanon, but I don't Anoxa. If I went for E2 on Phanon and ran him with Cyrene, RMC, Donhung, PT, that would blow this Anoxa out the fucking water. And E2 Phanon is way better in Pure Fiction as compared to Anoxa, I'm pretty sure. That would be the best possible decision. But I'm still skeptical on doing that because I was thinking of like E2 Yai Sakura. You know what I'm saying? Phanon is built. Why didn't you use him? I don't know. Kind of didn't wanna. Anoxa is more fun than Phanon in my opinion. Elite rage bait. It's not rage bait, guys. I just like Anoxa more than Phanon, like gameplay wise. Story wise, Phanon is easily my favorite character in like this entire version. But Phanon is just like very straightforward, especially if you play him with Cyrene. Like there's no, you know, special get back into ult thing that you can do on the second rotation. Like no, you just spam counter, especially in APOC and then Meteor. Like you just spam that shit. There's not much more to it. You feel like characters are half baked on Bleach without Sig? Aizen feels night and day without it. I am currently using an Aizen without Sig, and no joke. Like, I haven't fully maxed him yet, but a level 60 Aizen with, like, level 6 skills and a 5-star stamp, and currently placeholder Tozen weapon stamp, is losing on my Toshiro team to a level 30 Rukia. So yeah, I can 100% feel it in Soul Resonance when you don't have weapons or core stamps. Now clear with E6 Anoxa. What are my teams on that account again? Oh yeah, I can't. I can't clear it. There's zero way. I'm being dead serious. I already know I can't full clear it. Because there isn't a single quantum weakness. And it's like dual AoE bosses. And Archer is single target. And there's no quantum. Like, I just can't, bro. There needs to be a quantum weakness. If there isn't, I'm bricked. Because I don't have another DPS on that account. I can't do what I did here with like a premium Cassie team that just absolutely shreds even if they don't have quantum weakness. It's just not possible. Can you clear MOC on this account? Yeah, I already did. I already did MOC first try. I used Anoxa, like the same with APOC. I used the same Anoxa team, and I used the same Mono Rem team. Pull Saber? I'm not pulling that brick, man. Are Fake Collabs still here? Yeah. They aren't going anywhere. I remember when people said that, like, people were speculating for no reason and lying that once Archer was no longer free, they'd get rid of these banners. Like, these shits are staying for a long time, bro. They aren't worth investing in at all. Like, I'll just say it how it is. But they're staying for quite a long time. How strong is E1 Danny? What, Don Hung PT? I think it's the best sustained Eidolon in the entire game. It gives 18% res pen to a DPS, and it makes him Gallagher levels of SP positive with thicker shields. So, I think it's the best Eidolon of any sustained in the game. At least early Eidolon, sorry. You know, there's a lot of E6s, some E2s. Like, Hyacinth's E2 gives a 30% team-wide speed boost. People said Saber was going to be the truth. I mean, that's just kind of Zolza Telos propaganda. Like, people need to understand when it comes to, like, zero cycling and zero AVing shit when you're being shilled. Like, those are very specific, usually enemy-specific scenarios. And if the HP inflated is inflated enough, then they just drop massively in terms of being able to, like, zero AV shit and zero cycle. Like, this is most notable with Anoxa and Herda. Anoxa went from being like a top 2 or 3 zero cost clearer or low cost clearer against MOC, and then when we got the massive levels of HP inflation, you could see AA runs. Anoxa was last place, right? Anoxa was last place before Cyrene when it came to AA runs and like cost investment, because he just couldn't meet the damage check, despite the mechanics that can usually, you know, go through like MOC and stuff. So, like, having gimmicks and mechanics is cool, but at some point you're going to hit a damage check, and then you'll fall off massively. But now that he got Cyrene, oh, he's up there with Cassie and Phaedon again, right? So it doesn't matter. Do you think Dan Heng will get reran or not for a long time? I think Dan Heng will rerun faster than Ratio. One, because Dan Heng is actually immensely popular in this game. He's like a top 2, top 3 male, if not top 1 in the entirety of the game in terms of male popularity. So they'll rerun him faster, and he's also higher value because he's a sustain and not a power creepable DPS. Like, HSR only really releases 2 new sustains every single version, basically. That's way slower than, like, the bajillion DPSs that they release. Which gacha do you think sucks most to lose 50-50 to? It'd probably just be Genshin, no? Like, of the ones I've played. It'd be Genshin because the pull count is, like, the lowest out of, like, HSR, Wu, and ZZZ. And then Bleach Soul Resonance has it guaranteed, so you can't even lose in that game. Sustain creep makes DPS creep look tame. Well, yeah, that's because they release way less sustain, so it looks more broken. Like, because HSR basically releases a DPS like damn near every single patch, you see the power creep like incrementally, and then the only time you see like a significant power creep is like the main pushes, like the anniversary characters like Casters, for example, right? Like, those ones are obvious, but even then there's like small bits of power creep with newer DPSs. With sustains, because there's so little of them, it's like you stay at the exact same level of sustained power for like half a year, and then finally they release a new sustain and it's just significantly stronger. Is kind of how it goes. But I personally think Dan Heng vertical investment probably no matter what will still be worth it. His E1 and E2. His E1 is broken. I already said why. It gives res pen to the DPS and it gives him Gallagher levels of SP positivity. But the E2 not only doubles the like thickness of the shields, but it doubles the damage of the dragon. It allows you to action advance the dragon. It gives you double the amount of dragon actions as well. Like, it gives you double everything. It's really, really strong. So, I will go out and say this right now. I think an E2 Dan Heng PT will still be stronger than a lot of, like, E0 new sustains in version 4. It's going to be really hard to beat something that good. Yeah. Yeah. Especially Anoxa. Like, Anoxa gets a massive buff from E2 Dan Heng in Pure Fiction. And I'd say it actually puts him, like, erudition, you could say, level. Because you guys got to keep in mind, the dragon's damage scales off of the DPS's damage output, right? Like, it can scale the stronger characters get as well. Like, on my E6 Anoxa account, every single dragon attack does, like, 5 to 600k. On this account with E0 Anoxa, it does, like, 200k. They're both E0 as 0 Dannies. Yeah, exactly, Sodic. Do you think Wuwa 2.x character will be dead and nobody care about them in the 3.x patch like 1.x characters right now? I don't know. I don't know. The thing is, we've only had version 1 and 2 to compare. Once there's a version 3 I can compare with as well, and we're like midway into version 3, I can like make much more accurate predictions in terms of where a game is probably headed, right? But I will say, if we end up getting like another Cartethia, you know, premium team level power creep in version 3 compared to the version 2 teams, then yeah, version 2 teams are going to feel like shit without premium teammates and vertical investment. 100%. I'd even go as far as to say, mid 3.x, it's going to be damn near impossible for like 4-star only teams to clear in Wuwa anymore. Similar to HSR. Like 2 years into HSR is when the 4-star team stopped clearing. I think it's going to be the exact same thing for Wuwa. That's not even including the new endgame. Because we don't know how difficult the new endgame is. Even though from like the fact it has requirements for Wuwa and TOA, obviously it's going to be the hardest endgame content. Right? But we don't know how difficult that'll be yet. I don't like speaking on things without fully knowing about them. So that's why I like said recently in a video about when I was talking about like Wuwa banners and how much I hate about them at the beginning. I said, you know, I know about this endgame. I know some information was released, but I'm going to hold off on it until it's officially released so we can really see, you know, what type of difficulty we're dealing with here. Because as far as I know, I think the new endgame is similar to DA in ZZZ. Like, you just have infinite enemies rushing you, and you try to kill as many possible, and there's probably like a point-based system, and you get rewarded, obviously, the better you do. But we don't know, you know, how difficult that is. I only know some characters buffed in the new endgame. Yeah, I think. But I don't even think the buffs are like that significant. And on top of that, there are apparently the shield buffs are like twice as strong as compared to the general buffs. So nonetheless, shield teams are just going to fucking run through it. And then non-shield teams are going to struggle significantly more. Like, you guys, I saw people say like, oh, general buffs, right? They saw it from the leaks, general buffs. That means everybody's gonna be able to clear well. Like, no, if anything, that means the opposite. If they feel that confident to put general buffs for every single team in the game, then you know it's going to be the hardest endgame content. Like, they need those buffs, man.
This is ridiculous.
I might pull Aglaia because she's genuinely the cornerstone of the summon meta. What does general buffs even mean? It means that it has like selectable buffs where you can choose like for basically everything, right? Like that's kind of what it means. Like no matter what your team is, you can benefit from a buff that's in the end game. I don't remember the specifics of what they were, but I do believe it's pretty much confirmed that there's like general buffs for everything basically. But as I was saying earlier, apparently the shield buffs are significantly stronger. Is Aglaia meta? I got her since her first banner, still not max traces. I wouldn't say she's meta, but she's good. She's good. Because Aglaia was like the first released Remembrance character, technically the first released Amphorius character, she is like on the bottom of the Amphorius DPSs, but keep in mind, even the bottom of the Amphorius DPSs can all clear the endgame content in this game pretty well. So, it just means she isn't fucking Cassie premium. She isn't Anoxa premium. She isn't like E2 Phanon premium, right? She's not that level. She's more like My Day level. Guys, let's stop memeing Glaive Kyo. We can stop memeing Glaive Kyo's take on the summon meta. Hi, is there still a chance the drip is delayed by 1 hour and releasing today, or am I coping? You are probably coping because we recently got a leak on the Reddit that supposedly Drip Market has been even further delayed, they believe, to I believe like the 30th, if not maybe even further into January. So it's highly likely that there's no drip today. Unless they surprise us, which would be nice. Yeah. Like, basically, we're getting an extra 3 weeks this patch because of, you know, the delay of 4.0. So, obviously, this means Drip Market and beta delay as well. Nothing you can really do about it. I feel bad for HSR fans. I'm going to be dead honest. For my, like, goals on my HSR accounts, I couldn't be happier that 4.0 is being delayed. Now, the reasoning and, like, everything that's going to change in 4.0 and it might be rushed, that sucks. But, man, free pulls feels amazing. Like, I have so much more time to save. What does Dahlia even do? A lot. She basically carries Super Break on her back. They should do 3.9 Desert Clear the in-house. Well, they didn't want to delay it that much. Like, you guys need to understand, they had nothing planned for a 3.9 until, like, this entire thing happened a few weeks ago. Like, HSR usually pre-plans, you know, like, new patches and stuff, basically, like, a year, if not longer, before it actually releases. They can't just, like, make this shit on the fly within a few weeks. It doesn't really work like that, unfortunately. if they could, they would release patches significantly faster, and that would make them way more money. But they keep this schedule the way they do to give people at their, you know, company time to actually build things and do things. Do we get an event for the delay or not? I don't think so, no. You just have more time to save, basically, during this patch. Like, this patch now gives, because of the delay and because of the compensation, it now gives, like, 110 plus pulls, which is really nice. So this patch had 110 pulls. Last patch had, I believe, like, 120 plus pulls. And the patch before that had like 90 to 100 as well. And now with the upcoming new version patches always have like 120 pulls. So like, if you've saved your pulls within the last 2 to 3 patches, you're gonna be really juicy going into the new version. Is Archer E1S1 baseline? In my opinion, I mean, if your goal is simply clearing endgame content and you have a Sparkle, no. Like, you can be completely fine with E0 Archer. But especially if you have no Sparkle, I say E1 Archer is a baseline. That's my opinion on it. E1 Archer makes his rotation significantly smoother so that you can get like 3 arrows off, 4 arrows off, 5 arrows off just way more consistently. Because you gotta remember, especially with his Lycone, Archer scales, like, his stuff does more damage the more skills he uses. Like, he kind of needs to build it up, right? Like, over here, after each use of the wearer's skill, increase attack by 10%, stacking up to 4 times. So you need to do an arrow 4 times to actually max out this buff. But, in my opinion, I wouldn't even really bother investing in an Archer right now. I just keep it for, you know, other banners. Mitsuri over Shinobu? Nah. I've never been a big Mitsuri fan. Nezuko? Yep. That cast build? Yeah, I think it's rated like 120% plus or something. On, what's it called? Fribbles? I think that's the one that estimates relics quality. Because I'm getting 32% from here, which means I'm at 102% crit rate. Have you ever checked Toho? Nope. Why do people say Saber sucks? It's an over-exaggeration. It's not that she sucks. It's just that compared to the rest of the version 3 DPSs, she is probably lower. Right? Like, I'd say she doesn't have the low-cost viability that Archer does with Sparkle plus his E1. Especially since Archer was free to begin with. And Archer's already probably, like, no offense, on the bottom tier of Amphorius DPSs. Because the Amphorius DPSs now got Cyrene. So, that's why people hate on Saber. It's, like, kind of hard to really recommend her. She's not free like Archer. Her vertical investment is trash. She didn't really get any teammates specifically that benefit her. Yeah, it's not the best. Hello, Coda. You alone are the valid one. I love you. Hello, Coda. Love seeing you too, man. Hope you're doing great. Saber doesn't really have a dedicated support. Yeah. Archer has Sparkle. And Sparkle is like significantly better than other support for Archer. So that can make a difference. Saber doesn't really have anyone like that. Like, the only character in the entirety of the game who can generate ults is legit Cyrene. No synergy with Saber at all. And she can only do it once. Right. So, if we were to, like, ever supposedly in the future get, like, an ult support that can maybe generate a character on the team's ult every turn they take, then Saber would probably skyrocket. But would they go out of their way to buff a fake character whose banner is 24/7? I don't think so. I think it'd be an indirect buff, right? Kind of the same thing with Sparkle. Like, it's an indirect buff. They weren't really made for that DPS. Just happen to be good. Tell that to my Fate bestie with an E6 Saber. I mean, hey, if they got E6 Saber, it is what it is. You know, that's very strong for clearing endgame content. What's triple S on Aglaia? I have 30-ish stat points. It's S? Huh? I got Saber in 2 pulls. Was planning to get her LC. I mean, if you got Saber in 2 pulls, you might as well at that point. Like, people who get really, really lucky, you can. The only thing with this game is 75-25. Losing that 75-25 is like a huge setback. Me sitting here with an E5 Phanon. Oh, yup. One of those, huh? Gotta wait till the next banner. Hey, to be fair, Phanon is one of the few characters where, like, the E4 is actually good, especially in his weaker modes like Pure Fiction. But yeah, E6 would have been a pretty big game changer. 36% true damage on meteors. Do you think Hanabi will be like Thirda of 4.x or the Casterus? No, the Casterus will be Yai Sakura. As much as I love Sparkle, she is probably going to be the bottom of the barrel in the next version. I'm just going to go out and say it right now. She's going to be good. She's going to be viable. It's no different than like Eggy and Herda, right? Like, both Eggy and Herda are still very viable for clearing endgame content with their teams. But compared to their peers, they will likely just become noticeably worse over time. I'd highly recommend, if most people mainly care about meta, you just wait until Yai Sakura, because she is 100% the anniversary character. And you guys already know how this game treats anniversary characters. I don't need to tell you, okay? I don't even need to inform you. It's just straight obvious. I'd say anniversary characters and characters who are the last DPS of a version, right? Fei Xiao aged incredibly fucking well. Evernight is probably the strongest main DPS in the entirety of version 3, even over running her with Cassie. So, given this game's history with like that type of shit, anniversary character and last DPS of the version, those are going to be the best, you know, DPSs you can invest into at the time. Sunday is low-key the was man. I mean, here's the thing. Sunday still has value, because obviously a lot of these upcoming DPSs aren't going to have their full best in slot teams in the game yet. And I bet there's going to be a few who will be able to use Sunday as like a temporary replacement for a good while, right? And this is why I value generalists so highly. They can get power crept out of a team, but they will always have a place as a filler until you get a full best in slot team. And in these gacha games, that can be very expensive. So, yeah. Even though Sunday's not as valuable as he once was, if you already have him, he's still valuable in my opinion. I'm assuming you're talking about Saint. I don't even watch him. I already assumed he'd like twist it to try and make ZZZ 2.5 look bad. It's just obvious, man. Like, here's the thing, and I think I've come to the realization of this. I don't think, if you're talking about Saint, he even believes what he's saying. He's just playing into the audience he's built of Wuwa Glazers and Hoyo haters, and it works. It makes him the most money possible. So honestly, I respect the fucking grind. Sunday's the GOAT of Star Rail? Nah, I'm giving that to Ruan Mei. I think Ruan Mei, not only her generalist buffs, but specifically the 50% weakness break efficiency increase being there as well, makes her just so good, man. It's insane the value you get for a character that's free. Glazing Ruan Mei as if she isn't the distant fifth best in slot on nearly every team. I use Ruan Mei on both my Cassie account and my E6 and Oxa account. Those are my two main accounts with characters with the highest investment I've ever had, and I still use Ruan Mei for when I don't have a full premium team, and it just works. And she's free, once again. Like, you don't need a pull. She is completely free. Like you guys saw earlier during APOC, I moved Cyrene to my Anoxa's team, and then I put E1 Ruan Mei on Cassie's. I do the exact same thing on my Anoxa account. No, I didn't see the new NTE trailer. Best Wuwa creator, in my opinion, would be Rin. He appreciates every pros and mentions the cons as well. It's good to enjoy yourself. Yeah. Rin is like someone who plays the games not for tribalism, but for genuine challenge, right? To actually learn the game, the characters, how to tackle the end game content. He gives everything a fair shot, which is like, it's so refreshing. It is so refreshing to see someone like that. I remember when I caught Rin on my For You page when he was like significantly smaller, and man, it was like finding a diamond in the rough. Like, guy has been putting in the work too, increasing the production of his videos. He's so impressive, man. He's so impressive. I wish him the best success. I don't say this about many content creators at all. I genuinely wish him the best success possible. Obviously, I wish everyone the best success, but like the work he puts in is just so impressive. %40 attack on weakness broken enemies. If I remember correctly, E2 Ruan Mei does not work with break teams, so don't go for it. It's just bait. I don't know why, but I remember this being a big talking point for people, and the attack increase simply just doesn't work for break teams. So I don't know if I'd go for it. I don't think it's really worth it. Have you tried Reverse 99? No. I'm playing way too many gachas already currently. Like, it's bad. I'm playing ZZZ. I'm playing Wuwa, HSR. I'm playing Bleach, Soul Resonance. I was thinking of possibly playing Arknight's Enfield at some point, but like, it's just too much, man. I don't like playing this many gachas. Starts feeling like chores. Are you still watching Bleach? I've been stuck on the Arrancar arc because I've been very busy lately in real life. Why can't the gacha space be in Unity? I've already talked about this before. You know, every space has its bad apples and stuff, and they have like this comparison stuff. But it's mainly the fact that the biggest gacha CC was the one pushing this Hoyo versus Kuro agenda. And they did the exact same thing with Genshin and HSR when HSR first came out. So you have the biggest CC in the entirety of the space advertising tribalism. Like, and then other people start profiting off of tribalism by following in the footsteps of that CC. And so it just spreads like a virus. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what happened in my opinion. Because keep in mind, there is absolutely nothing wrong with criticizing a gacha game. These are like the most predatory types of games, and often the sloppiest predatory games in the gaming space, right? They can get away with putting in minimal effort while making more money than some big title AAA games. But you need to actually understand to play these games and for people to put credibility on you, right? Like to actually rely on you for information and not just agenda or confirmation bias, right? Like I can watch someone's video out there glazing the fuck out of HSR and I will probably be insanely annoyed if they are just blindly glazing agenda-wise and not actually bringing up solid points. Right? If someone blindly hates on Wuwa, let's say, and they're like overly nitpicking things to try and bash it down way more than it deserves, that also annoys me nonetheless. People need to know what they're talking about. But the thing is, especially in the content creation space, people care more about a person's personality, you know, their charisma, the way they talk, agenda, confirmation bias once again, as compared to the truth usually. And so that's what usually happens, is that people, let's be honest, ex-Genshin players who move to, let's say, Wuwa, right, and they couldn't ever move on, and they want to feel like they're superior to those Genshin players that still play because they moved to the almighty superior gacha game, they hang to these creators 24/7 and their opinions because it's confirmation bias and it makes them feel better. That is kind of the reality, right? Like I have been very open about this. In my opinion, for me personally, Genshin is dog shit. It is so hard for me to play that game after touching Wuthering Waves, and that's the entire reason why I quit it. It's the most popular video in the entirety of my channel. But I will never blindly hate Genshin, and you'll notice I don't make videos speaking on it because I don't play it. I'm not knowledgeable enough on it, right? So that's not my place to say things. A lot of these creators out here who mainly thrive off of the tribalism and glazing one game over the other, that they do the opposite. They don't care how not knowledgeable they are. They don't care about how much they aren't understanding. They just care about the little bit they do understand, and then they just go off with it, right? They just go off with it and kind of paint it as like a black and white scenario 99% of the time. Yeah, exactly, Uni, exactly. Like, this doesn't only apply as well to like the WUWA players, right? Like, it doesn't only apply to them. They're kind of the loudest on this YouTube CC space, but like even on my channel, I can pretty frequently see some people from like the Hoyo side of my stuff basically just trying to blindly holy shit, I can't speak. Blindly bash WUWA because it's like agenda versus agenda, but like I hate that shit. It doesn't matter where it's coming from. I absolutely hate it. I just want to have real discussions. You know what I'm saying? No agenda, no bias, real discussions. That's when it's really fun to talk about these games. Nice voice crack. I just went on like an insane yap for 20-25 minutes, bro. Chill on me. Chill on me. Do I have a water in my room? Oh, fuck, I don't. Whatever. Gotcha players in discussion doesn't belong in the same sentence. I mean, a lot of the time you'll find that even within the games, there's kind of agenda wars, right? Between fans of characters, shipping wars, you know, which character is better at low cost zero cycling than the other. Like, there is legit wars for everything, even inside the games. Let's be honest. And that applies to everything, man. It's crazy these days. What progress have you been on your Bleach Soul Resonance act? I am currently level 61 account wise. I have a copy 1 Bankai Ichigo, which I regret getting because then I would have been able to also guarantee Gin because I have a Tosen, but whatever. With his weapon and 4 copies of his signature stamp. I have a copy 2 Kisuke with his weapon and maxed out stamp copies. And then I have a Byakuya, I think copy 1 or copy 0 with his weapon stamp and with a maxed out core stamp as well. And then I recently got Toshiro with his weapon. His stamp is currently refinement 2. And I just got Aizen. No weapon stamp though, no core stamp. He feels kind of bricked right now. Oh yeah, Uni. The majority of Ling Sha and Firefly hate is purely agenda. Like, it is pure agenda. Now, Ling Sha, it's a little unfortunate that she's a sustain for an archetype that, especially with Ruan Mei, who has been obviously given for free, you can run sustainless for a few cycles in a lot of case scenarios. So because of that, people make fun of Ling Sha since people can just go 2 to 3 cycles without dying on a break team, right? But if you are someone who's going to use sustain no matter what because you don't have that level of investment to really run sustainless break that well, she is way better than any other option, especially now with Dahlia. And Ling Sha hate, or sorry, Firefly hate is just pure agenda because, you know, so-called waifu slop, which people just say for basically any woman that's pushed in these games these days. Like, if any character is shown flirting with the MC in this game, they instantly just label them waifu slop, and they just completely forget about the character's personality and their story. They just ignore it. They don't care. Yeah, you can also use Ling Sha as a break DPS too. Yeah, that's 100% a thing. Is the combat fun? I haven't seen much on it. I'd say Bleach Soul Resonance combat is decently fun. Yeah. It does have a skill gap. It also has quick swap. But the thing is, unlike like WUWA and, you know, ZZZ, because they are trying to get in those casual players, they have an auto battle. So like 99% of people, they're obviously not going to actually bother learning how to play the characters. And they're just going to run it on auto the entire time. So, you know, it's kind of iffy. So there is the skill gap, and you can learn it if you want to, but you can also just run auto and completely ignore it. Oh yeah, I actually like one of my OG HSR accounts that I quit because I went on an insane 50-50 loss streak on and I just couldn't take it anymore. I had Firefly on that account, and I solely pulled her because of the mecha suit. To be honest, I was never a big fan of Firefly herself, even though these days I like her more. But yeah, it was mainly the mecha suit. Like, it was pretty original. Because you gotta keep in mind, HSR, a game set in space and visiting a shit ton of different planets. Every single character is human, right? Like, it's hard to find any character that doesn't just straight up look normally human. So the mecha suit was like, oh my god, this is crazy. It's kind of the same reason I also pulled for Castris too. I made an entire account solely for Castris because when she first got drip marketed before Emphorius ever released, it was the dragon. Like, cool factor plays a big role in me wanting to pull characters. There was no confirmation back then that Castris would even be the Annie unit. I just like the dragon. Yeah, Fernie. ZZZ is their game where they take a lot more freedom in like testing the waters, in my opinion. I think that's what they use ZZZ for. They just use it to test the waters and see if their revenue stays the same, it decreases or increases when they add certain things or certain characters. I feel like people wouldn't call flirt characters waifu slop if there were male characters that flirted with the MC. Well, yeah. That is like a big part of the shipping wars in the first place on social media. It's like there's a pretty big double standard on when like dudes are being shown with like, you know, half their body showing or flirting with a character. And it's like, oh my god, yes, right? And then when it's a woman flirting with like Kalis or something, it's like, oh, the slop for the incels. Blech. Right? And it's like, come on, man. Come on. Like, even recently, I saw like a, you know, tweet that banged off of ZZZ, which was someone hating on the Jane Doe skin, saying that it was like incel slop and stuff. But then that person was instantly exposed for having tweets thirsting over like naked Phanon, My Day, the men in ZZZ lighter. Like, it's just a little funny, right? At the end of the day, I don't take shipping seriously, right? When I was a lot younger, I used to take shipping a lot more seriously when I first got into anime and like my hate for it, because I didn't understand how people could ship characters that clearly don't mesh well together in the fucking slightest, right? Or let's say a character already has like a canonical relationship or family and they like make them put them with someone else. I couldn't understand it when I was a lot younger. I just found it so weird. But these days, I've just kind of like tuned it out in my head, and it's like, I don't care really. Yeah, I don't like Jane Doe that much either. I don't really like Jane Doe. I've always seen people just go absolutely crazy for Jane Doe, her trailer, her like official arts and stuff, but nah, I'm good. Nice, Dialga. Yeah, that's one way to go about it. I think it's completely fine to ship whatever you want, so long as you aren't going out of your way to be like incredibly like annoying to other people for basically no reason, right? Like, there are some people who start taking headcanon or just straight imagination and thinking and treating it as if it's canon and getting mad at others on social media for not really believing the same thing they do, and they like go crazy over it. Like that's when you know you're too far gone, and yeah, that's like way too deep. Jane's nice and all, but she isn't Ye Shun Guang. Exactly. Yeah, Uni. A lot of people would agree with that list. Ye Shun Guang and Zombie and Ellen are like really up there for me. I'd play Ellen if I didn't have a skill issue in ZZZ, but I do have a skill issue, so. Jane's skin is a bit chopped. I mean, I'm not saying the skin is like crazy or anything. I'm just saying like there's been people exposed for hating on the skin and then having like double standards when it came to like other characters. Like it's completely fine to not find the skin cool. I don't even think Jane's skin is anything crazy either, to be honest. Like it's not really like top tier, but it's free. So, you know, I don't think anyone's going to really complain about anything that's free. At least most people. For me, it's Ye Shun Guang, Yishuan Yanagi Miyabi. Understandable. Skin is goonable, but design could have been better. Yeah, that's kind of a good way to put it, yeah. Can't think of a skin from the gachas that I prefer over base besides maybe the Deluxe skin. Do you not like Jin Shi skin more? I think Wuwa's Jin Shi skin is one of like the few gacha skins where it's like, in my opinion, an upgrade over the base. Gallagher's swimsuit skin when we get another 4-star. I don't think a Jinchi skin is an upgrade. Bennett skin is much better than the OG. I don't even know what the Bennett skin looks like, man. Yishuan skin is an upgrade. I only pulled Yishuan because I like the skin her default I don't like. Oh, really? Damn. But yeah. Ugh. Lately, I've been like secretly grinding on the low playing ZZZ. I'm up to like 46, 47 pulls right now. Limited. I have that pity in the banner. There's also a bunch of pulls upcoming. I think I'm guaranteed Ye Shun Guang. I don't know if I'm guaranteed Ye Shun Guang plus engine though. Because if I lose both, then that's a little more questionable. Hello, Abby. Hope you're doing well. She's the best, but I feel like it's yeah. Her engine is only like 18 to 20% better than Brimstone if you can keep the Brimstone sack. Oh yeah, I saw that for Ye Shun Guang, yeah. The engine isn't anything game breaking. Which is nice to see. Like, not only are they making Zhao free, but they're also at the same time not making the engine a crazy upgrade. Like, that's kind of a W. Free teammate and standard weapon is goated. I'm sharing Brimstone with 3 different characters. I'm cooked. Jeez. So wait for M0W1 Yeshun Wang or M1W0. I mean, from what I've heard, her M1 is better than obviously her signature jump. But the thing you always need to consider is the fact that you're much more likely to lose a 50-50 than you are to lose on the weapon. So it comes down to, do you want to take the risk for a little more of a jump, or do you want to play it more safe? Is the Astra banner a bait for real for a completely new account like mine? I wouldn't say so, no. I think if you are a completely new account, Astra has serious value because she is general, right? When a lot of people talk about like, oh, Astra's been power crept, 99% of the time, they're talking about DPSs with their niche best in slot teammate, right? Like, it's a very specific case scenario for one team, and then another team might also power creep Astra, but now it's a different niche teammate. So Astra has this ability to fit in most places without issues. So I would say Astra is 100% worth it for a new account, in my opinion. Yeah, you can run Yeshun Guang Zhao and Astra. I actually saw that. It's not as good as Dial In, obviously, but it works, and it's a Void Hunter, so you're gonna clear. Is Astra the Ruan Mei of ZZZ? She's the Robin of ZZZ. Literally, like, almost exactly. They have basically the same, you know, design philosophy. They have the same broken M1, and they both give attack buffs. Like, both their M1s and E1 of Robin are res pen, res reduction. Like, they are... it's basically a copy of Robin. Kit-wise, it's a copy of Robin. Yeah, exactly, Scummoner. The better Astras are like Ceredras, basically. Yeah, kinda. Yeah. Basically. They're better than Astra in like one specific role, and outside of those roles, they aren't better than Astra. What would be the polling order or priority if you want to use Yeshun Wang? Well, you probably don't have Brimstone if you're a new account, so the W engine is way bigger of a jump. So I'd get just M0 engine Yeshun Wang, use Zhao for free, and then pull Astra. It's guaranteed no matter what, so, you know, that's one team down. And then for a second team, I mean, that's truly up to you. I'd say, you know, keep up with the game. Try to look at the leaks, because I think Angels of Delusion are upcoming, although I'm not interested in them at all, personally. But you can probably get, like... I don't know. It just depends on who runs in the next patch after Yeshun Guang. Because I do think it's unrealistic to recommend you to pull both Sanbi and as well as Yeshun Guang and her engine in the same patch unless you get really lucky. Right? And Sanbi without trigger doesn't feel the best. Or Orphe, so... Doesn't ZZZ need 3 teams? Well, yeah, but he's gonna have to build up to it, is what I'm saying. Like, there's no way he can instantly pull 2 or 3 teams right when he starts the game, unless he just gets incredibly lucky. So, it's basically letting it slow burn a bit. What are the diff teams in ZZZ? There's like anomaly teams, rupture teams. That's literally all I remember. I haven't been paying attention to anything ZZZ specific for quite a while.
Checked off the list.
Do you play Haru? Hell no. Do you watch the Rin and Io convo? Nope. Attack, Anomaly, and Rupture? Oh, okay. Thank you. There you go, guys. I'm going to get Zombie from the rerun banner because it's Zombie. So she'll be my second team. Maybe I'll also have enough for Astra. Nice. Yeah, Zombie's been getting like a shit ton of buffs lately. Which I love. I invested into that M2 Zombie a while back. So I could do like Ye Shunguang, Dialin, Zhao, Zombie, Pulchra, Astra, and then one day get Trigger and Orphe for Zombie? Yeah, basically. Are you gonna get Linné and Wua? Nope.
My dream is right.
Nope. Not happening. One, I still need to end up getting Canarella for my Prolova at some point. Because I don't want to run Kiyuan with Prolova. I much prefer him as a main DPS. Especially since I have him S6. So, no Linné. I want to guarantee Mornai. So that I can then have 3 generalists on my account. And then after that, I'm going to be honest. Oh wait, no. Oh, fuck. They're adding this new endgame with 3 teams. Fuck. I forgot about that. I'm gonna be honest, I forgot about that. To be honest, I might just save till Rebecca comes out. I might just save till Rebecca comes out after I get Mornai. You only play the Kiyuan account on Wua? Yeah, basically. I basically dropped my main account. It's not because my main account can't clear. In fact, my main account could clear way fucking before my Kiyuan account. It's just that I found Kiyuan so goddamn fun. And at the same time, I don't want to play a bajillion gacha accounts. I just decided to prioritize that one instead. New endgame is only 400 asteroids, sadly. I mean, I don't think anyone plays endgame for the asteroids, though, no? So, nonetheless, I'm still going to feel pressured to get 3 teams just so I can clear the endgame. But yeah, rewards-wise, that does sound pretty garbage. I wouldn't, you know, go for that if you care about the rewards. What is that? That's 2.5 pulls every reset. Wow. Game changing. Better than 0 compared to AA? Hot take. I like that AA gives 0 pull currency. Because the thing a lot of gachas do is if a new mode gives pull currency, they will then decrease the pull currency somewhere else. And it ends up averaging out anyways. So Anomaly giving like actual, you know, self-modeling resin and like dice and stuff, like they can't really do the same bullshit they do with pull currency. And also Anomaly is just so much fucking harder than the other game modes. So people don't feel pressured to clear it because of the premium currency. Hot take though. Actually, I think that's a cold take. If I hear this is crazy again, I'm gonna go mad. Do I keep saying that without realizing? Sorry. Especially Mornai who loses the flight mode on swap. Why would they do? I lost a bit of hype for Linnea Mornai when I found out they lose a lot of stuff on swap. Oh, yeah, they're not negative status. You said you really liked the negative status. Oh, it's on the background. Oh, okay. Yeah, negative status teams seem to have the benefit of being able to swap more, so they have a higher ceiling. I just know Tomb Break is going to annoy me. I'm just curious how strong the full Tomb Break team is going to be when they actually get their main DPS. Like, I want to see what the new standard for damage in version 3 is going to be for Wuwa. In my opinion, hot take, I'm saying the new DPS is doing 2.4 million in a rotation. The first one that releases main DPS. I'm going 2.4. For reference, premium cart average rotation, which is the current highest with an average rotation, is like 2.1. So it's like a it's maybe like a 15-20% increase. Is Ye Guang overall a lot stronger than the other units or what, and how's her copies like? No, ZZZ doesn't have like HSR levels of copies, really. I'd say they're more closely in line with Wuwa currently, where like you get 20-25% increase on M1, 20-25% increase in M2, and once you get a character all the way to M6, oh my god, M6, then they're maybe like twice as strong. That's kind of the average for ZZ Mindscapes. And Ye Guang is the strongest DPS in the entire game, I believe. So, even without her best in slot team, she's still going to shred. Voice crack? Yeah. I don't have anything to drink right now. With how strong main DPS is currently with Linnea Mornai, it'll probably be insane. Yeah, I thought the exact same thing. Like, the fact that a triple sub DPS team, or a duo sub DPS team, is doing, like, that much. It does more than Augusta's hyper carry with like, at that point, you gotta make a main DPS enticing somehow. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. I don't want to, be called like a Doom poster for saying like, oh, it's not even in the game yet and he's already Doom posting. But yeah, I have the same feeling like main DPS is going to be really strong. Jane's M2 is like a 70% increase. Well, yeah, that's true. How's the ZZZ endgame and difficulty relative to like HSR and Wuwa? I feel like it's similar, maybe. I think it's similar. Like, when I think about it, you can kind of clear at the same limited. I think you can also clear with free-to-play teams in ZZZ still. It's like kind of the same as Wooer right now, in my opinion. But at the same time, I think ZZZ has a higher skill ceiling if you learn how to optimally play some DPSs and characters as compared to Wuwa. Like, in Wuwa, you're much more limited in terms of skill ceiling, in my opinion. Like, if you put Miyabi in the hands of an average player, Mono Ice, like, they will probably still clear endgame content, but it won't be pretty. But if you put it in the hands of a professional, no joke, that Miyabi is 2 to 3 times as strong. So it's like, really depends on how much you learn the game and how good you are at it, in my opinion. And Miyabi isn't even like one of the hardest characters in the game. Like one of the harder characters in the game is Banwei, who just released. He has like a fuck ton of cancels. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, similar to HSR, like in Wuwa, you don't really need to react to enemies, right? Like, only holograms really do this in Wuwa, but in actual endgame content, they don't do this. In ZZZ, even compared to HSR, they probably require the most enemy interaction and like enemy understanding to like counter their mechanics. Casual rotations and optimized rotations in Wu are pretty night and day though as well. Yeah, but like I don't think it's as much. Like the biggest one in probably the entirety of the game is Gion, Quick Swap with like Mono Fusion, and Zanny. I'd say those are probably like the three best cases of like high skill ceiling. And you're able to increase like the DPS's performance by I'd say like 50 to 60%. That's still incredibly high, right? But that's like the absolute max usually. In ZZZ, like I mentioned, you can make characters like 2 to 3 times as strong if you actually play it correctly and you have the ceiling for it. But yeah, Wuwa you can also like vastly increase an old character's performance nonetheless. Banwei is kind of mid after sweating it out. Someone made a decent point I saw, which is that Banwei, if you don't sweat it out, is honestly underwhelming. But if you sweat out Banwei and you learn how to play him, he becomes like high tier DPS level, just not Void Hunter level. So basically, if you sweat with him, there is like a noticeable DPS increase, but it's the fact that he already starts at such a low level that makes him not so impressive compared to something like Void Hunters and like the top of the top best in slot teams. But like there's people out there legit soloing DA with a Banwei or using like a level 30 Banwei and he's clearing DA. So oh yeah, Uni. Wuwa's parry. Yeah. One of the things I hate most about Wuwa's parry is the fact that it slows down like the screen, but the time doesn't slow down. So like obviously you're incentivized to go for parries to make a boss stop, especially if they move too much, but you just waste time going for parries quite often. Thank God they didn't do this with Toon Break. They actually made it so that when you Toon Break enemies, the time freezes. But I wish they did the same thing with parries. I'd say actually the only time, and this is going to be mentioned so much, is holograms, right? Holograms are really the only time you actually care about going for parries because they have a bajillion movesets that can one-shot your characters. So if you, like, obviously break their bar, they finally stop moving and you're able to get a rotation off. Holograms are truly probably the peak of, like, mob difficulty in Wuwa as compared to its actual endgame. My only complaint with ZZZ combat is most characters boil down to getting resources, then holding special or normal. I wish they had... Oh yeah, like for example, from what I've heard, Ye Shun Guang is kind of going to be a Miyabi situation, right? For those who don't know what a Miyabi situation is, that just means super fucking powerful, but at the same time very, very straightforward to play. Once you learn a quick rotation, you'll already be getting like 90% of her full potential out. So Ye Xiong Guang is not going to be like a high skill ceiling DPS probably.
Checked off the list.
Yeah, exactly, Rando. Good for a noob like me, already sweating Wuwa, not looking for another sweat in. We have the exact same mindset, Uni. Exact same mindset. Like, I really sweated out in HSR a bit, but when it comes to every other gacha I play, I really like to take it easy. Because it's like, I don't want to, you know, be this sweat lord in every game I fucking play. There's a lot of them where I just want to be a casual in.
Checked off the list.
She's impossible to hit, so it's way easier? Yeah. I like easy characters because I play like 6 gachas? Yeah, same. How do you even sweat in HSR? It's so straightforward. If you knew the effort that some of like the top low-cost zero cyclers put into this game, like, bro, I can't, man. I fucking can't, okay? And in terms of like sweating, HSR doesn't have... Okay, I was actually going to make a video about this today, but I held back on it because I knew it would cause a bunch of gacha war. I think the reason why there's such a big difference between a casual player playing HSR and their ability to clear endgame and an actual like good player is knowledge. In ZZZ, in Wuwa, and in Genshin, you learn one rotation and you can spam that shit for the rest of your life against basically all endgame content, right? It's pretty straightforward to learn. But in HSR, you need to go out of your way to understand AV manipulation, speed tuning, you know, light cones on certain characters, relic sets, clicking the buttons at the absolute perfect time, playing against enemies' mechanics that can either brick or increase the viability of your run, and you need to adjust all of this shit for every single new endgame that you go up against, right? Like, HSR easily, out of like the main games I'm talking about here, requires the most knowledge and ability to adapt. And so to do that, you need to have the most understanding of character kits, character synergies, and, you know, all that good shit. Yeah, exactly, Tactician. There is a mechanical skill gap in the other ones, while in HSR, there is a, like, steep knowledge gap, in my opinion. Like, for example, I actually want to bring this up real quick because I have a real life example of this shit, right? I have a cousin who has played HSR for over a year, right? Technically, we've been playing HSR just as long, if not, he's been playing longer than me. I think he actually played the beta when I did it, right? So, I started in Penacony, and he is way fucking worse at me at this game because he simply doesn't understand it. He doesn't meet the knowledge check, right? In other mechanics-based games, like you Unga Bunga, however, slowly over time, you learn to adapt to your enemies because they have fixed move sets, and you can, you know, take that mechanics into future bosses and enemies, and it'll carry on. In HSR, this doesn't really apply, right? Like, he has a mono remembrance team with vertical investment and a full premium Acheron team, and he cannot clear. I instantly went on his account and cleared first try on everything, right? So there's a pretty big difference in a casual player and a knowledgeable one. And keep in mind, he's been playing the game for over a year, longer than me. Oh yeah, Uni, for sure. It is a hard skill issue, but like that goes to show, you know, that's probably the average player that plays these games. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the casual player standard. And he actually goes out of his way, by the way, to sometimes look at leaks and semi understand the kits. Not fully, but semi, right? Like he can understand, you know, Dahlia, she's probably going to want, you know, 4-star break DPSs like March or something, or Joie, and as well as the main limited break DPSs. He can understand that Evernight benefits remembrance comps and stuff, but that simply isn't enough. Autoplay would do better than him? Honestly, maybe. Maybe. The Model Remembrance team is pretty brain dead, so it can play autoplay decently well. It'll probably waste a few Evernight skills, though, in terms of value. Thought I was bad, but yeesh. You need to understand that, like, if you're watching my channel, you're already probably in, like, at least the top 3% of the HSR player base. Probably. Like, the amount of people that actually take the time to go to social media and learn about meta and, you know, character synergies and optimal rotations and all that bullshit is so small. It's so small compared to the, like, full player base. I haven't gotten past Penacony still. Sam. I autoplay everything in HSR. I can't. Because this team, its second team is bricked. And then my Anoxa account, second team is also bricked. So like the first teams can easily play auto, the second ones can't. Once I get that down though, I'll be completely fine. Although, if we only look at my Mono Rem team, I forgot to upload the video. I recorded it. I did the most recent Pure Fiction on auto with this Mono Rem team, and it got a 0 cycle. So, yeah, not really surprised. But, I will say, it was close. It came down to the last attack, and if you guys saw my Pure Fiction video from like 1 or 2 patches ago, that one actually cleared better with Ruan Mei. Right, that is way weaker than Cyrene. So what I've noticed is when many people ask the question, how are they going to make Mono Remembrance not as good in version 4 because it's too broken? I got one answer. HP inflation. They'll still clear though, like don't worry. At least if you have invested in them, they'll still clear. That's an auto 0 cycle. Don't take me too seriously. Been playing HSR for a bit over 2 months and already full cleared anomaly arbitration. Nice, Uni. That's insane. Good shit. What teams did you use? What do you do with standard weapon pulls on Bleach? Do you get dupes or hold until you get another new character? I just get dupes. I don't think they're gonna add any more weapon stamps to there. So personally, with my Bankai Ichigo team that has Kisuke and Byakuya, I didn't get dupes of theirs. However, Tosen's weapon is one of the best to get dupes on. So I went for a bunch of dupes on Tosen's. I have like a 4 refinement Tosin weapon right now. Although the main reason I use my pulls on the weapon banner isn't only because I want that. It's also because they give you like the pullback for 4 stars. So helps with the limited banner pull income as well. Has to be like 200% HP inflation. 200% HP inflation isn't even enough to stop like a remembrance team. Mono remembrance at least. That's decent investment. Like if you're zero cycling with a mono remembrance team, let's say, that means you're clearing faster than 150 AV, right? Most like you get I believe 550 or 650 AV if your goal is simply clearing within 5 cycles. So you need like 300% HP inflation, if not more, to actually stop let's say the mono remembrance team from clearing. Like this game has rampant HP inflation, but it isn't that rampant, okay? Something like that would probably take at least 2 years. 2 to 3 years. And that's considering they don't get upgrades or you just don't invest in them ever again, right? Because here's the thing, this team has like the most insane vertical investment out of any team in the game. What you do is you get an E1 Evernight, right? Then you get an E1 S1 Hyacine, and that 3 limited alone will probably carry this team to doing like way more DPS. Way fucking more. Like they're probably 50-60% stronger now that you've done that. So what are your pull plans in Soul Resonance? I'm gonna see, although I'm doubtful of it, if I can get Aizen's weapon stamp. I think before he goes, I'll be able to get like maybe 20 to 25 pity in it. However, that's it. Right, so if I don't get it early, then I'm probably gonna have to wait for his rerun because I just got Aizen. And after this, I'm gonna be honest, I'll probably take a break. I wanted to go for Geen, but I'm starting to realize how important the weapons are for characters in Soul Resonance. So I'd rather make sure I can like guarantee things since limited banners are guaranteed, so you can perfectly plan for that. So I may skip Geen and just wait for the next thrust DPS that comes after Geen, and then I'll finally get that done with. My Slash team is basically already finished. I finished the entirety of the tower with my Bankai, Ichigo, Byakuya, and Kisuke team with like a minute 30 seconds left. I didn't know I'd overpowered myself that much. I took a break from doing tower for like half a week to a week, and then I went to do it once I hit like level 60 and it just got instantly trashed. Hyacine was the worst thing to happen in the game. I mean, soon, Hyacine's meta value is gonna dip like fucking crazy. Like, Hyacine has had all this value because of her damage output, but I guarantee you, like a new version 4 sustain that consumes as much SP as she does will probably do significantly more damage, and she's only gonna have a place in HP scaling teams. This is why I've always said, I think Dan Heng PT is way more valuable, because even if he gets like so-called power creep damage wise, he's one, free. Secondly, he's a general attack buffer. And 2, his vertical investment is fucking insane. Like Gallagher levels of SP positivity, res pen, like damage output, like that's the only thing. Yeah, that is the only thing. An HP scaling team, she gives like a HP max buff. And she gives... The reason why she's so broken for Castris isn't even her direct healing. It's because she can also heal Memo Sprites. So, that's technically healing twice the amount of characters in Modern Remembrance as compared to a normal team. However, when you don't consider Remembrance characters, that's already a massive nerf to her. And then if you don't consider HP scalers either, she's just a sitting duck eating away at your SP for uptime and probably doing way less damage than a new 4.x sustain. So, she's just not going to fit in like 90% of 4.x teams. Like, you need to understand, even for Evernight, you want to know the funniest thing? Evernight is an HP scaler. Her best in slot team is Sustainless. She is like one of the few HP scalers alongside My Day where Sustainless is stronger than Sustain with Hyacine. So the only HP scalers that actually want Hyacine are one, Cassie. That's like a definitive best in slot for Cassie. And her Light Cone for Blade and Jingliu. That's basically how it goes. Her Light Cone carries more value than herself for Blade and Jingliu, and then Cassie's the one she has like perfect synergy with, and Cassie actually like kind of needs her. But Evernight, she doesn't have anywhere near the same reliance on Hyacine, and she's stronger than Cassie to begin with, so. After seeing how much Pink Team trivialized 3.x meta, try not pulling any Elation units in 4.x to see how well that goes. I mean, if you pulled like second main pushes, I think you'll be fine, right? Like, if someone pulled, let's say, Anoxa and Phanon in this version, and they ran Phanon with the normal team and Anoxa with Cyrene, they'd still completely obliterate endgame content, probably. Anniversary characters just get everything. Like, they basically have 0 weaknesses for the entire version that they're in. They can cover everything and still be the strongest. But there are still some other DPSs that can, like, be on the same level at times. Remember in 3.6 beta when people said Evernight needed Hyacine's S1? I used to get downvoted to absolute hell on my Reddit account because I used my Reddit to like check leaks and stuff, and there was so much Doom posting, and I'd get recommended like March mains crying that her main DPS is garbage. And I'd literally say she doesn't need Hyacine. She doesn't need Hyacine S1. She doesn't need this and that. If anything, she's looking stronger as a main DPS than Cassie. And I, like, bro, they hated me in that sub. They downvoted me constantly. And now look, she's basically the definitive best main DPS in this entire version. She's like a GOAT Pure Fiction clearer. She's a GOAT 8-paw clearer. And she's the GOAT MOC clearer. Like, Anoxa comes the closest, but Anoxa kind of has the glaring weakness of Pure Fiction. She's literally T0 in everything, okay? There isn't a single thing she isn't T0 in. Did you see the NTE trailer? Nah. Alrighty, guys. I think I've done enough yapping, enough running around Penacony for however long I've been streaming. Hope you all have a great day. Hope you have a great night. I'm going to go take a rest because my throat is absolutely killing me. And